I'm catching up here.
How are you doing, Ron?
A little tired, but
I gotta get your microphone on. How are you doing, Ron?
am I there now?
Now
Yeah,
you're there.
there we are. I am doing very good. I'm
Yeah.
catching up to you on the caffeine. I was a little.
Little slow. You were a little sleepy when you came in this morning.
Oh yeah.
It took a little while to get you going. I think the puppies are helping brighten the spirits. Plus some fun trivia. That was fun, wasn't it?
Yep.
Cade got the answer. He knew. It was Fred McGriff. So you get to go to the iCubs. And I always tell people, this is candid too. Some of my favorite things to do on the radio is give stuff away, because it's like someone's just going off to work wherever Cade's heading for the day, or where all the other things. Now I'm going to the iCubs, right?
Yeah, you just
Brightened up your day. Hopefully I did. Unless he's a White Sox fan. But no, you could have fun. I'm just kidding. He knew the answer, too. He said he thought it was Derek Lee at first, but then once the other listener didn't get it right, he nailed it there with Fred McGriff. So we're giving away pet food and treats just for phone calls here today for the Positively Petland Show. We're specifically looking for Boston Terriers. We have two of them running around here at the KXIC studios. I named the one Big Mama, because she's a big girl. I don't know about
what's the little.
What should it be?
Little fella.
What would a good name for a little dog? We need Big Mama and what would be a good one? Pip? Is Pip? Does that work?
It's small.
You don't seem convinced there. We're gonna buzz myself.
Well, I want.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to do Big Mama and little.
Oh, okay.
Little Joe.
All right, we'll go Little Joe. We'll go Little Joe. Big Mama and Little Joe.
What is that? That's from Bonanza or something, right?
Maybe.
No. Yeah, something like that.
We've got two cute Boston Terriers. That's all I know, and it's Big Mama and Little Joe. They're here in the studio. Pictures available at Facebook in just a minute. Still haven't gotten to that yet, but it is the Positively Petland Show. Ron, you had a good time at Lollapalooza, didn't you?
Yeah. This has just been a fun summer as far as we've gone backpacking in the woods for the first time as a family. Spent a night out there that was phenomenal.
Oh, cool.
Then we went to Vegas, first time ever, and just had a blast as a family. In the Vegas environment, it was phenomenal.
The Soulsrud family just tearing up the USA.
And then we went all as a family to Lollapalooza, and it was myself and my two teens, Emily and Andrew, going into the Lollapalooza concerts. I went from opening to close almost every day. I did take one day, the evening off, to go out on the town with Wendy's, because she was not going to the concerts.
Okay.
And so we went out and had some time there. But the amount of bands I saw, 25 bands or so.
Now, for all you listeners out there, Ron Soulsrud was right outside the M&M mosh pit.
Yeah.
I understand.
Okay.
You were there.
Yeah. Picture, we're a conservative family by far, And so 3 hours before M&M goes online, my kids go, we've got to go over there so we can get up front. And so we're about 50 feet from the stage. I'm a typical dad. Man, I'm hungry. I can't sit here for 3 hours plus the concert. So
you're in the elephant ears.
Yeah. So I said, I got to go get some food, and they say, good luck getting back. And so I eat the food, I come back, and sure enough, yeah, I'm another 100 feet out from them now. And so there's all sorts of things that happen during these concerts where there's surges. I don't even know if people. I never knew this stuff. Things move around very quickly. Well, I skinny back up to where they're at by the time the concert started. It took me an hour and a half to get there.
Did it?
So now it is the stinkiest thing. I mean, I was twice everybody's age out here. So that is alone, and I'm a very tall individual, so I stick out.
Ron's like 6'5", so I want everybody out there to picture Ron here.
At M&M, very conservative guy at M&M, and yes, he swears and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, that was the most energetic concert. And I've been to a bunch of them over the years, the Cheap Trick and REO Speedwagon and all that in my day. And M&M, I was like, holy cow.
This wasn't REO Speedwagon.
This is not REO Speedwagon. I did have to put some things into relation. There is a lot of swearing and some other things going on. I did talk with my kids about that. I said, you guys have used words that we made into great big exclamation points. I mean, that's what we've done to those bad words, that we consider really, really bad. We've made them into huge exclamation points. Yeah. This generation loves to put a big exclamation point on the end of things. And so that's how they were using it, because they were saying it back and forth, and it's just funny because, you know, and if you were out...
So you heard some language.
Oh,
yeah.
It's just what...
Can you show me some moves here?
Oh,
let's go.
Talk about moves. Let's
go. Come on, get up.
Oh, man, I was doing... Here, I have this thing that I do with my wrist. It just is natural. My kids are like, Dan, put your hands down. It's like, I can't help it. They go up. Everybody's doing this, and I'm doing this whole wrist action thing up in the air. And they were really good to me.
I can't get past this. Let's listen.
There you go. I couldn't. That's Eminem right there. We were up front and personal.
I have the clean version on, by the way, just so everyone knows.
And you still hear the music.
But you know what? The best part, you got to spend time with your kids. You had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you did. That's great.
Yeah, Eminem was definitely the most foul of them all. And I appreciate, you know, what your kids do because, hey, I listened to Kiss and all that kind of stuff in the past and all that. But there was just phenomenal moments there. I would recommend Lollapalooza. If you're a music lover, to go there. I didn't know. I think I knew one band, and after I got done, there was about 20 of them that I said, I gotta
go and take a listen to.
Yeah.
Well, good.
And you can get sucked into the bad element on anything.
Sure.
We did not. It was just a great time out there. You see things that you wish you didn't see or whatever, but there was a phenomenal amount of good stuff, and so I'd recommend.
Well, I'm happy to hear it. Ron Solzert here from Petland of Iowa City. We are talking pets here today. That's right. We've got Eminem in the mix now here for our music month. But we do want to take your phone calls too. So specifically, any of you Boston Terrier owners out there, we would love to hear from you this morning. 319-354-0800. 319-354-0800. That's the phone number to call if you have a Boston Terrier. All we ask from you, if you are new to the show here, is if you have the breed, we just like you to tell us a little bit about the breed if you own it, and then the name. That's all we like to. We just get the name of your dog. Tell us, hey, is it playful? Is it sleepy? Does it listen? Was it easy to train? Was it tough to train? Have you had issues? Is it a good family dog? That's the type of stuff we like to know. So if you have a Boston Terrier, the call is out to all of your listeners right now. If you know of someone that has one, think, Joe has one. Well, call Joe or text him and say, hey, call the radio show because they have free bags of treats and free bags of dog food, courtesy of Nutro, just for calling. 319-354-0800. 319-354-0800. That's the phone number to call. If you have a Boston Terrier, call now. We'd love to hear from you here this morning on KXIC. So that's the one thing we've got going. But you also brought a big bin here of a bunch of stuff. What are some of these items here?
We're going to talk about chew toys today and some of the finer points of, you know, what kind of chew toy or toys should I get for my dog? Because do you have a dog that chews through everything and, you know, it's destructive? We're going to talk about some pretty easy things that you can look for in a toy to get something that lasts a little longer than normal. And for those of you that have, my dog is chewing everything up in my house, you know, and this is the stuff I want, we'll talk about how do I get them to go towards the chew toys that you want them to chew and away from the stuff that you don't want them to chew.
Okay, very good. And what we're gonna do is take a break, come back for a nice big segment here, the second half of the show coming up. We'll have the amazing pet story of the week. The breed of the week is the Boston Terrier here on the Positively Petland Show, AM 800 KXIC. We are looking for Boston Terrier owners the next half hour. You have to call in 319-354-0800. 319-354-0800. Getting this picture of the two we have, Big Mama, Lil Joe, hanging out at the studio, and I think Lil Joe's going in for a nap. He was thinking about it anyway. He's already, no, he's not. He's pouncing.
Oh, he's pouncing.
He's got the little puppy pounce where he pounced, and then he backed up a little bit, and then he pounced again. And now there go my blinds. Joe! Hey, Lil Joe! Lil Joe!
He's saying, yeah.
I'm saying, I'm just going to do what I want to do. We'll be back with more after this on KXIC. Good morning.
AM 800 KXIC on the air from the concept by Iowa Hearing Aid Center's digital studio.
Not on the air.
This news update is brought to you by
That was fun.
Landscaping and
That was fun. I had to have it going in the background.
Yeah, that was good.
Good radio there.
Quality and convenience. We're in the garden.
I love getting the visual going because people can. I don't know. People don't know what you look like.
All right.
Look at the garden center.
Are you farm?
Trees
I'm slightly number one, but not a big deal.
Okay. Staff today. Where you can find at 520 Highway 1 West, Iowa City Southwest Side, or at iowациtylandscaping.com.
AM 800 KXIC, I'm Ryan Schlater. The Coralville Post Office on 10th Avenue will permanently close at the end of the workday Friday, as services will be relocated to a renovated location on James Street starting Saturday morning. City Council member Mitch Gross says city officials aren't doing a whole lot of celebrating.
Those of us in the city fought very hard against U.S. Postal Service.
Uh-oh.
I saw it earlier and I went, oh, shoot, I gotta get that cleaned up.
We really weren't ever listened to. That's obviously water under the bridge at this point, but it's still disappointing.
Wasn't it?
Significant location was in need of some serious upgrades. The Postal Service announced the plan last year, saying the decision was driven by economics.
They follow. It's really interesting. All puppies go to your feet. Did you know this?
Yeah.
And so every single, when I go out in the morning,
They go right there.
they follow my feet wherever they go.
I wonder if it's the laces.
No, they don't really go after him. I mean, they just want to be there. They want to crawl over it.
The move came after the Gazette reported that Deloitte submitted.
I have a rug cleaner. One day you're going to say, why don't you bring that rug cleaner?
$3 billion contract to find savings. Board President Bruce Rastetter says that Deloitte expected to employees to reflect poorly on the larger initiative, which saved millions. The contract would require that. The advisor on Israel and the Gaza Strip cancellation of the University of Iowa study abroad trip there. Doug Lee, the International Programs Office, says 10 students have planned to go to Israel to study archaeology. But given the violence in the region, the trip was called off. He says such a move is rare, but it's happened in the past.
There's been programs canceled before.
Well,
sometimes
Joe.
they are for lack of enrollment. Other times they're
Grab his
for
rear end.
external factors. In Japan, after the tsunami, there were some programs that were canceled.
There's about 14.
Hey, did you hear about
the University of Iowa program? California man.
Yeah, that was
actually the Twilight movie.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. I thought it was here.
It would have been a bigger, yeah. I'd be talking more about that if it was local.
And the whole thing, it was on the TV thing, and I set myself up. A tear came out. I was like,
I've had some real sad moments this week. I don't know how much you've been following the news, but 4 14-year-old boys on a gator, all that. They got hit by a truck.
they went across the road.
No, a truck ran a stop sign.
17 and 18. Lemoyne has long wanted to host the men's
There
basketball.
were 320 or 25-ish kids in the car, and they weren't drinking or anything from what I could tell, what the reports say, but they didn't see the stop sign and went right through. And I was out near Epworth, near Dubuque, and these are 4 14-year-old boys, all friends, so the whole community was devastated. And that was one day. The next day, 2 9-year-old twin brothers.
Good morning. We got the thick clouds here once again across eastern Iowa. Chance of rain showers south of Highway 30 today. Should stay pretty dry to the north.
They didn't say with helmets
generally from the mid-70s.
But it's like the 2 days in a row we lost 6 young boys, and I just keep thinking of families, like, especially being a parent. And I went on a little bit of a not diatribe, a rant, because I was upset. I keep reading and hearing everybody blaming the parents and their comments and all this stuff. It's just like the parents should never let them. And I know you can respect this. And me, I was on my YZ80 and my snowmobile. Yeah, I mean, I love doing that stuff. And if I ever died, it would not be my parents' fault. I mean,
You'd be walking down the sidewalk.
you have to encourage safety, you know, but there's so much of an outrage over.
It was not a good day
these
for
kids, like it's the parents' fault, and ATVs in general are getting like this whole news story about ATVs, you know, and DNR came out with a statement about being more safe. And when you're between 12 and 17, you're supposed to take a class or something like that. But I don't know. I just get upset when I don't like reading comments. You know, pretty much anything.
I just say that all of the pro classes, these pros, $1 million pros, first thing you talk about is safety. They won't even let you like start your bike up unless it's all correct, and then you have to be all garbed up, and then you talk about okay, when we're out
That's the way it should be. But I mean, these kids that were on the gate, or it's not like it was just one of those things. It wasn't like, and maybe they were going too fast, maybe they were screwing off. I mean, you don't know, but the point is that I just hate the people. And if I was one of the parents, it would really bother me. I just lost my son, and I'm reading about what happened, and how bad of a parent am I? It's my fault. Anyway, all right, we got a good chunk here. We're gonna go. We gotta get kind of caught up a little bit because we did a lot of screwing around in that first segment, which is fine. But we do have to talk about the breed and all that.
Yep. And you got the story.
Yeah. Welcome back. It's the Positively Petland Show on AM 800 KXIC. I'm Jay Capron. We're here with Ron Salzrew with Petland of Iowa City. We got Big Mama, Lil Joe, little Boston Terrier puppies, and you can see them on our Facebook page right now. Big Mama's about twice the size of Little Joe, but Little Joe's feisty.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
Little Joe's got twice the personality.
Yeah, Little Joe is he is the one that's kind of he might be small, but he's feisty and he's having fun. They're brother sister, right?
Yeah.
Brother sister here at the KXIC studios. The Boston Terrier is our breed of the week. We have to call out to all of you out there. If anyone has one, we'd love to get some first-hand experience. Just tell us a little bit about your dog, the name of your dog, and then just what the personality is like. Is your Boston Terrier, is he a good listener? Is he not a good listener? Is he wild? Is he energetic? Is he calm? Is he lazy? All of that helps to kind of steer the show, and we get first-hand experience when we have a breed, and we always have a breed each week. So again, Boston Terrier call. If you own one, call and get your free bag of treats and free bag of dog food, courtesy of Nutro, just for calling the show. 319-354-0800. 319-354-0800. And we have the phone lines open for anybody that has a question about pets. If you have some issues going on at your house, if there's something that you'd like to see if you can get an answer for, 319-354-0800. That's the phone number. Ron Solzer's here with Petland of Iowa City. And again, the Boston Terrier is the breed of the week. You can email the show news@kxic.com. That's the word news@kxic.com, or call. We love getting phone calls too. So 319-354-0800. 319-354-0800. That's the phone number. We'd love to get some first-hand experience from any of you Boston Terrier owners out there. The call is out right now. That's the breed of the week. Right now, it's time to bring in Big Voice Guy. He's little in stature, but he's got a big voice. That's why we call him Big Voice Guy. He's the best. He's been doing a lot better here lately, and he's back on track. He's not as he doesn't have as much attitude lately. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, he's got a tan too.
Where have you been, Big Voice Guy? Where? Why were you there? He's in Brazil.
Wow.
Of all places.
The traveler. Oh, maybe for the soccer?
Well, oh, maybe. Oh, okay. That's why. He went to the World Cup. All right. Go! Go, 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 go!
I'm not following you.
He was at the World Cup.
What's the go, go, go thing?
Goal.
Oh.
Like the soccer. Okay. Anyway,
soccer.
I digress. This story is from the Huffington Post. A pit bull carried her chihuahua to safety, and this is the story from Chachi, or not from Chachi, from Savannah, Georgia. But Chachi the chihuahua, this story kind of gained national attention just a couple weeks ago. Animal control officers found Joni putting Chachi down from time to time to lick the chihuahua's badly infected eye. But Joni was the pit bull that saved this chihuahua, and shelter veterinarians had to actually end up removing Chachi's eye, but they lived together for a long time. They're going to have happy days together in Florida. They were actually adopted together, which is nice to see that they'll be together now. But the story goes that they found these two out and about, and the bigger dog, wouldn't put the other one down. Like he kept caring for it as you know. And so when they got the two paired together, the only time he would put little Chachi, the Chihuahua, down is to lick the eye and then pick him back up, and they were wandering around together, and they were actually able to be saved and now have new homes. So
I bet you they were together for quite a long time on the front end. I wonder if they just got out.
Maybe soulmates there. They are love, some love between two dogs. That's the amazing pet story of the week here today from Savannah, Georgia. Now it's time for we're going to continue with the program here, and we do have the breed of the week. We told you it's the Boston Terrier. Someone's playing with a squeaky toy over there.
Yeah, I think I've bought another toy here for my own house because they've really enjoyed the squeaky toy.
All right. Well, Ron, can you tell us about the Boston Terrier?
Start with the Boston Terrier. As far as a breed goes, it came right after the Civil War, came to America, and a gentleman named Hooper's Judge was the one that, or the first Boston, and all Bostons are, most Bostons are, they go back to Hooper's Judge in their lineage, which is pretty cool for most breeds when they came over. You know, there was a whole group of them that came over time. The Boston, most of them originate back to right after the Civil War to Hooper's Judge. So that's a neat little story where you can find that lineage and all that. As a lot of dogs, this dog was actually known for fighting and stuff like that, and it's what we were doing to them because their disposition is actually very gentle and nice, and so we must have got them all riled up or got something going.
They're little too, though. I mean,
yeah, they're a medium-sized dog, and so obviously that's not happening anymore, and we've just grown to love them. They're a gentleman's dog. They're kind of dapper in the way they look. I saw them in Chicago over the weekend quite a bit. That was the most popular dog that I saw walking around on the city streets was a Boston Terrier. And yeah, I love them for their personality and all that. I always talk about, there's a story of, I saw a little Boston Terrier. It was an adult, and we were on a beach. We were all boating and stuff like that, and these kids were playing football. And this Boston Terrier comes running up, plays football, and literally would go on the line of scrimmage and all that kind of stuff, and go, and all that kind of stuff, hike, and it would then run, and it would try to get the ball and stuff. And we, my family just thought, oh, well, it must be one of the boys' dogs, type thing. And it even was swinging with the kids. There was a rope off a tree, and it would grab the knot at the end and swing with the kids and stuff. I'm like, wow, that is just so cool that the dog is so intense with these kids. And then all of a sudden, one of the kids threw sand at the dog. Boys will be boys, and that happened. And the owner of the dog yells out, "Frank Johnson, you get over here." And I go, we all thought Frank Johnson was the kid that threw the sand. And we're like, yeah, get that kid out. You got to do something about that kid. He's throwing sand, But the dog runs over. He leans down. The dog jumps up on his shoulder, and he gets onto his boat and drives away. And it was just all the parents are like looking at it going, well, that was just an interesting experience that just occurred. Boston Terriers have some of the most human-like tendencies or traits that I've ever noticed, and this was one of them. So it's a nice, medium-sized dog. It does have some energy, especially as a puppy and in its younger years. But it's a robust, type dog, stout in stature type thing. You're not going to get, I believe it's about 20 pounds is what these guys get into as far as their average, 15 to 20. And
they're cute dogs. They're always black and white, right?
No, there's other colors.
Oh, is there really?
Brown and white. Gosh, my brain's
I don't think I've ever seen any Bostons that aren't black and white.
Yeah, I think they call the brown and white the red and white and all that. And you're looking for the neat tendencies. If you can get the white to go around the entire neck, that's called a fancy collar. If they have that. These two don't have the fancy collar, but they're still precious. Still beautiful dogs.
They are. Little Joe, you want to come home to the Capron house? Oh.
Yeah, he's like, oh, yeah.
He is.
I'll give you a run for your money.
Yeah, I bet.
This breed is still fine for if you have, you live in an apartment, condo type thing. This doesn't get too big for that environment. They're going to need to go for walks, though. it is something they need to get the energy out. We'll actually talk about chewing, how that's actually one of the things that dogs do is chew because they get a lot of energy. So you're going to go for a walk with these guys, but a condo apartment is still fine if you live in one to have a Boston. They don't get too big as far as that goes. Okay. Grooming is fairly easy because they're a short hair shedding dog. You're not going to have to do a lot of grooming, going to the groomers or anything. A furminator would be helpful if you're sensitive to the shedding that you see. It's a shorter hair, so it's not in abundance, and it's a medium-sized dog. You're going to see some of that around your house, but you're not going to see a lot like you would with a large breed dog around your house. So
I like these dogs. Boston Terrier is the breed of the week. 319-354-0800. 319-354-0800. If you own a Boston, please call us and tell us a little bit about your dog, the name of your dog, brag about it a little bit. Tell us if it's a good listener, if it's a bad listener, if it's anything about your dog. And just know from for this show, next week we'll have a whole new breed. And if you ever have the breed, we'd love to hear from you here during the show. It gives us some first-hand perspective and tells everybody else out there a little bit about your personal experience with that breed. So if you'd like to claim your free bag of treats and free bag of dog food, we'd love to hear from you this morning. 319-354-0800, 319-354-0800, or if you just have a question about pets. This is where we talk pets, the Positively Petland show, every Thursday in this 8 o'clock hour, and we're having fun as always. We've got Big Mama and Little JoJo running around here, the studio. And we're going to talk chew toys here in just a bit, and I've got to ask you, do you have any kind of chew toys for yaks?
I have a yak chew.
You have a yak cheese chew, right?
Yeah, I don't think I guess actually yaks would love that. The way you would they? The way you said that. You're going to go further with this.
Yes. Just real briefly, because it's one of those random funny kid things, is that the other day, for whatever reason, Jack told us that he has a yak in his room, and he's pretending to have an imaginary yak named Jonas. And he named it Jonas, and so he feeds Jonas milk grass, he calls it, and then the other day Jonas had 208 babies, so we had baby yaks all over the house as well. So
you're gonna need to get the yak cheese.
Devin, yes, exactly,
because it's good for him.
It is a tie-in there. Devin is listening right now, I know too, with Jack. Jack's in the car, and so
hey Jack,
and we're I'm telling listeners about Jonas the yak at the Capron household. So, but there is actually a tie-in, if you can imagine. There actually is a way we could tie this back to the show, is that you do have a chew made of yak cheese, right? Is that right?
It's a hardened chew. For strong chewers, they're going to chew it up, probably fairly quickly or moderately quick. But for the moderate chewers and the low chewers, they're going to lick this thing to death.
And is it made of yak cheese? Is that what
pure yak cheese? And they just harden it, and that's why it will last long. The first one I gave to my dogs, they licked it for 3 hours.
Lick. Yeah. What shape is it? Is it like fun shapes or a bone or something?
It's just like a oblong shape. It's nothing.
If a listener wanted to get this, if they just came into the pet store and asked any of the counselors, where's the yak cheese? They know where it's at?
Yeah, Chirpy Chews. They call them, I don't know where Chirpy came from, but it's Chirpy Chews.
Okay.
And it's all yak cheese.
So there we go. We tied it back to the show. But let's talk about some of the chew toys here. Let's talk about what is that? Well, what's Little Joe had over there?
It has a plush toy. It's a combo toy. That one is a plush toy, so it's got a purple elephant look, but inside it has a rope that go into the arms and legs and throughout the body. So it's actually a strong toy. So a lot of people will say, those plush toys, I don't like them because they just rip them apart. This one's going to be a little stronger in that way.
And you have cotton all over the place.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to give our listener an idea, Little Joe, the smaller Boston Terrier right now, is on top of a purple elephant that it almost looks like the type of like stuff that you give to like a baby. It's that big.
Oh yeah, dog toys are now wonderful.
It's as big or bigger than Little Joe right now. So he's doing his best, shaking at it, pulling at it, and so what you're saying is it's built better, that it's not going to just rip apart from a little
not as easily.
Yeah. But it still has seams, right? So they can get.
Oh, they're gonna. Yeah, the strong chewers are still going to get through it. So those that have strong chewers, eventually we'll have to succumb and say that's just the way it is, and they're going to get through a lot of different things. Sure, you can find some toys that are stronger and last longer, but what you want to do in general is get your dog a variety of chews of different textures, whether it's soft or hard, whether it's fuzzy or lumpy, all these different textures you want to have available to them, because what would you rather have them chew in your house? Your furniture, your rugs, the corners of the stools and stuff, or the toys that you brought home for them. So you want to have a variety of toys that you attract them to in all different ways. So you can play with them and get them excited about it. That's what I did here in the studio with 2 toys. The dogs were going after different things throughout the studio. I took 2 toys out, different textures. The squeaker is one way to get them engaged with it. I know we sometimes go, oh my gosh, that squeaker, if it would only go away. Sure enough, the dogs do get through the squeakers. Their goal in life is to stop the squeak. So eventually it will stop, but it's something that gets them attracted to it. So that's the first step in getting them to not chew up, the things that you don't want them to chew, the furniture and everything, and get them attracted to the stuff that they will chew. Have the different textures, because as puppies, they're chewing because they're losing their teeth, and they, just like babies do, they need something to teeth on. It feels good when they clamp down on it. So have different textures. Now they're going to find what helps soothe it the most, the jaws and everything. So have all those there, and as puppies, you're showing them that these toys are yours, and don't go after the other stuff. Now, if you have a dog that is chewing the other stuff that you don't want them to do, you can use chew deterrents that are out there, and there's a lot of them. So in our store, I think we now have 4 or 5 different chew deterrents. Not all of them are going to work on your dog, so that's why we have different varieties. All of them in our store are guaranteed, so if it doesn't work, you bring it back and we get you the other one and you try that one. Yeah, sometimes you need to sensitize the dog to the chew deterrent, and you just do a light spray right in their mouth, and they go, yikes, that is nasty, why did you just do that? It's all safe for them, there's nothing like bad for them in there. And now when you spray it on things, they go, ooh, that's where that nasty taste came from, I'm not going to chew that anymore. You'll have to reapply it over time. So we talked about how do you get them attracted to chews and how to get them not attracted to the stuff that you don't want them to chew within your house. So now let's just talk about strong chewers and how do I handle that. You've got 2 types of strong chewers out there. You got that big dog with that big jaw that's really strong, and you've got all the rest of them that's some of them are just tenacious. They're really not strong as far as the jaw goes. They just go and go and go and go and go and go. And you've got 2 different chewers. The biggest thing for the large breed dogs is get a toy big enough so that they can't get it to the back of their jaw. That's your goal. So don't get the small toys and think it's going to last a long time. Just because it's cute, it doesn't mean it's a good chew toy. Look for the bigger things that they can't get all the way to the back of the jaw, which is the strongest part of their jaw. So get big things like that. And then there are some stronger than others. Kong, for instance, everybody knows about the Kong.
Yeah, the Kongs.
Realize that, okay, you got size differences, so you got to get the appropriate size for your dog, but then they have different types of rubbers that they're using in those Kongs to make it stronger than others. So you have the strong chewers, you're going to get the black Kong. That's going to last the longest for you. The medium chewers is the red one that we all see around. And then for the, hey, my dog never chews anything apart. And I actually have 2 dogs that just don't chew it. We buy it, and 2 years later, the thing is still in our house. You then get the really soft one. There's one for seniors, and there's one for puppies, and they're usually a light blue or a light red or pink type color. And so those are really soft. Now you might find, though, you have a dog that will chew apart the red one, and you go to the black one, and it doesn't give it the time of day. Well, attract it to it as best you can. Play with it. You can put the Kong stuff in it, or shove some treats in it, and that gets them active towards it. But sometimes it's just too hard for them, and they don't like that. They wanted the soft thing. So work with your dog on that. Find out what's appropriate for them, and try different things as far as what your dog likes. Don't get stuck on that one toy that my dog really likes and only get that. Get a variety, because what I have noticed over the years is toys get discontinued on a regular basis. So when you go back to the store and you go, oh, I want that one toy that looks like this, they discontinue them. They've found that we are all about variety. And so make sure that your dog has a wide palette of what they like. And all you got to do is buy the different textures, buy the different sizes, buy the different, whether it's a soft plush toy versus a hard toy type thing.
Now, as we get ready, we're almost done, Ron, if you can believe it. The show is almost over. Zipping along, starting with Ron mosh pitting in the mosh pit at Lollapalooza, and all the way till now. We've had quite a busy show. But as we get ready to wrap up, if I walked in the store today, Ron, and said I've got a regular medium-sized dog, what chew toy should I get? Do you have a?
I'm going to actually say get at least, if you're brand new to this, I'm going to say get at least 5 toys today
and play with
and work your way up to about 20.
Do you have a favorite though?
As far as here, I'm going through a plush toy just here for my dogs that are moderate to easy chewers. Any plush toy is going to work. Okay. Some plush have little squeaks, or they even have some that you can put the plastic water bottles in, and it makes that crunchy noise. They love that. And so you can do those. So I'd get a plush toy, I'd get a rubber toy, I'd get what's called a latex, which is that really thin rubbery feel, and it usually has a squeaker in it. And then I would go for a textured hard toy, something with a lot of bumps on it. Okay. And then the only other thing that is important that I know we've talked about in the past is to make sure that if your toy gets to the point where there's chunks, if parts of it coming off, you got to be sure, make sure they don't choke on them. Right. So yeah. I know they try to design these so that doesn't happen, but but your dog is destructive and will eventually get them down to a smaller size. So if they can swallow the toy, you got to take it away. And that's true with anything. We didn't even talk about natural toys, everything from raw hides to tendons and muscles.
Maybe next week?
Yeah.
Natural toys?
We'll go into the natural toys. I
like it. Good transition. As we get ready to wrap up, this has been the Positively Petland Show. Stop by. Say hi to Ron. He's there at Petland of Iowa City. And you can go and be one of their new customers there. They have always having a fun time. My family loves to go there and play with the puppies, and these two are great here. Big Mama and Little Joe here. For Big Mama and Little Joe and Ron Salzer, Don J. Caper, and this has been the Positively Petland Show. $5 nail trims. Anything else? Do we wrap up?
Buy 10, get 1 free on most of our dog food and cat food. And this is all good stuff, so you're going to feed half as much as you would with all the foods from the other mart type stores. So it's good stuff. You don't spend more money on the stuff, and your dog benefits huge from it.
Go on out to Petland of Iowa City, right across part of the Sycamore Mall. You say across from the Sycamore Mall, right?
Yeah.
Iowa City Marketplace.
Yeah, just so you don't get confused and walk through the mall and go, I didn't see them. We're across from the indoor portion. When you're in the parking lot, look for a Petland sign and you'll see us.
Go say hi to Ron. We got to go, so we'll see you next week for the Positive Petland Show. I've got today's top local news headlines coming up next and a community calendar to get